Hello, and welcome to another episode of My 2 Cents. Today's topic is going to be fundamental geometric volume. What does that mean? Well, that basically means I'm going to be talking about geometry for a change. You've heard me use lots of geometric terms in other videos, and it's time that I go into a more detailed and more extensive discussion about geometry itself to help establish my position. This is in relation to infinite and infinity and generally everything else I'll be speaking on because everything has geometry. I'm going to bore you with some vocabulary words. Then I'm going to read 4 definitions. Hopefully you'll keep up. I'm also going to take the liberty of cutting this part of the video as its own separate video. So if you don't want to sit through this, you can just skip straight to the second video. The words that you should familiarize yourself with, and most of these words probably can be Wikipedia, some of them cannot, are magnitude, continuum, infinity, space, volume, mathematics, coordinates, shapes, rectilinear, curvilinear, which are motions, volume, distance, location, direction, scale, length, measurement, speed, and velocity. And obviously, you'll want to, I will be personally explaining my definition of what static geometry versus dynamic geometry is and how those relate to the abstract concept, the fabric of space-time fabric. You should also probably look up, time's not really you can look up time and change as well, especially change. Change is going to be very important when I start explaining how change is a force of nature and not just some general definition or word. Okay. My goal for this particular topic is to explain in great detail static geometry versus dynamic geometry. And often more than once I have used the definition of static geometry for existence and dynamic geometry for the universe without going into any detail based on this is due to my limitation imposed on me by YouTube. So I'm going to try to address that issue with these upcoming episodes of My 2 Cents. I'm going to start with 4 definitions straight from Wikipedia. I use Wikipedia as a resource because I know everybody has access to it. It makes no sense for me to grab some obscure book that only I have in my collection that nobody else can grab and confirm what I'm saying. Wikipedia is general information for the public. It's the introduction to anything you want to know. You can always go to a university or college to get more information, but as an introduction, Wikipedia is an excellent source. I give it 2 thumbs up. Fundamental geometry. The 4 definitions I have here are geometry, dimensions, infinity, and continuum. Geometry is earth measuring, is a branch of mathematics concerned with the questions of shape, size, relative position of figures, and the properties of shape. Dimensions in mathematics and physics, the dimensions of a shape or object is informally defined as the minimum number of coordinates needed to specify each point on it. Infinity is a concept in many fields, most predominantly mathematics and physics, that refers to a quality without bounds or end. Continuum, anything that goes on through a gradual transition from one condition to a different condition without any abrupt changes. So the questions we should be trying to address today are: what is geometry? What is static geometry? And what is dynamic geometry? Those are my goals. When I'm done, we should have a basic understanding of geometry. If you have an understanding of geometry, I hope that I will expand on it. That my goal is to help you expand on that geometry, your understanding of that geometry, so that we can better understand my infinite and infinity if that is what you choose to know. So with that said, part 2. This is Paul Emerson, and that was My 2 Cents.